Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantel Francis, here wiping away my tears from an emotional episode of Love Island Games. And here to wipe my tears away is Miss Tjoy. How you doing? And I don't even know how you've been feeling about this season because it's the first time we've chatted about it. So what's up?
Right. I like this season. I like this season. I like the people that have been on. I have not always watched the UK like you all. So some of these people are new to me, but I am enjoying the season. And I like the power couple dynamic. So, yeah.
Yay! Well, I'm happy that you could come join us here to talk about Love Island Games. And Mika, you're covering it on your channel. So, what have some of your thoughts been about the season so far and your overall of this episode?
Um, this season is probably so I sat through 2 seasons back to back of Love Island this past summer, and of all the and the winter season that passed, and of all the Love Island that I've watched this year, we're coming up on a whole year of watching Love Island. This has been the absolute best season of Love Island this year, and probably in a very long time that I have watched.
100%. And I think it's because personally that we know most of the characters. It's not like we have to get to know them and realize what they're like and their dynamic. And it's kind of like how we all really like Bachelor in Paradise, because it's just like it's a little bit lighter, but we know everybody, or we know their story, or we can already find their birthdays. Like it's just like we're familiar with them, and so we can just dive into the dynamics immediately, as opposed to getting to know people. And if you haven't seen all the other franchises or the other countries, like you get to know a few people, but it's like a majority of the cast.
Right.
And you are rooting for them already. You already have a rooting interest in certain people. And I think that is why it's working so well. I think my current co-host, Miss Mansa, was saying, like, maybe they need to scrap winter and let's just have this be rotating in the winter instead.
They scrapped winter, so we don't have to worry about winter. They did scrap winter. They are giving us Love Island All-Stars. So we are going to get very similar to this, but more UK based. So I'm kind of excited because I think we're getting a taste of what we hopefully will get this coming winter with Love Island All-Stars. We already see Scott and Catherine. We're seeing out hanging out. So maybe they got their contracts to hop on to Love Island All-Stars. Maybe there's a rekindling. Maybe she's going to get her revenge.
Not at all. I'm so sick of Scott.
I'm just saying. We know these people. We know the storylines. We are going to get drama. That's what I'm saying. So I think that is part of the reason why I do like this. We know these people's personalities. It's not trying to figure out, even though to me, what I have been saying on my channel is Toby, for me, totally different personality, I feel like, than when he was on his original season. In his original season, Toby was just overconfident. He would just go and just grab it, and it's like sometimes it was too much. It was like, Toby, stop, please. No, that's just one push too many, but it would work out for him because he was charismatic and funny.
He had to be chosen by people, and he's a good looking guy. He's funny, and he's going to have somebody come and snatch him up. And so I think that's why he, in my opinion, didn't succeed so well this season, is because I don't think he knows how to date. I don't think he knows how to pursue.
He's not with these amount of pretty people in there. I feel like that's the other thing with this level of game. Not only are these people, it's like the best of the best. Like, these are like the prettiest people from their season.
And they're all like final 3 people, or stars at least.
All the catches. So yes, you can't just come in there and I get it. Like, he wanted to be pursued, but so does Sally. And the thing is, he knows it. Sally is a baddie. You said it yourself. So what makes you think you could just sit there on your laurels and hope nobody's going to come steal her?
Well, and
it's this new generation of men that want to be pursued too. Like,
it's for me personally, but like if he's looking at just Johnny in general, like as her ex, like I'd be like, okay, if that's what she's attracted to, he gives off alpha. He gives off I get what I want. He gives off I pursue, and he also gives off like if a woman pursues me, I might entertain it for a bit, but I'm not really attracted to that. Like I like going after what I want and getting it, and that's her ex. So take you on like how he's handling. I mean, obviously, I don't like what he's doing with Jessica, but like
it's Johnny Sally 2.0. It's literally watching them over and them. It's literally watching them again.
It's worse. At least I felt that he liked Sally. I don't think he likes Jessica personally.
He doesn't. And Sally couldn't peep Johnny's game because she really didn't know about everything that happened in Casa Amor. She couldn't really peep everything. But Jessica can peep his game and still allows him to sweet talk her. Like she go over there mad, and then he say like 4 sentences, and then she kissing him. It's like, ma'am.
I mean, she doesn't know how to handle a guy like Johnny. I think it's quite transparent and easy, and maybe I'd entertain it when I was 20. So okay, fine. But like, it's pretty basic. His like misogyny, like alpha game that he's playing. It's pretty manipulative, but it's pretty obvious to me. Like, it's that he's not subtle about it. Like I think it's like he's just always kind of smiling a little bit, and I think it's because he can't believe how easy it is.
Right.
Like he's just getting away with murder, literally. Not literally.
Yeah, with these women. He wouldn't try that with, like I don't even think he approached Georgia as the same way he approached Liberty and Jess. Like I just felt like he knew he could do certain things with them.
Bulldoze them.
You know what I mean? So it's just
what was interesting? So the last episode, it was these games that they're playing, because those are the games that we always want to play. Now, okay, actually, one thing I want to ask you guys is in the regular seasons, there's the audience voting and stuff, and in this season, it's all been pre-recorded, and most of the eliminations are due to the Islanders. So, do you think that this is better? And like it's getting real results? Like how do you think the difference with like not having the audience participation and the potential of producer manipulation?
I don't miss the voting.
Me neither.
At all.
I agree.
It's so much better. Because I feel like even with like that there's a bit of who they want to keep in, so like they sent in Georgia and EL to make sure that Sully and Toby didn't home and that kind of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, I don't miss it because I know that and I'm okay with it. And even tonight, like it is what it is, right? Like you just have to be okay with when it's that person's time to go. That person's time to go, but not because people are online sending them hates because they don't like that they switch from one partner to the next, or being racist about the black girl wanting the white guy and the white guy wanting the black. Like, I don't miss it. I think people were overly invested because of all the voting, and I see people invested in just watching it for the entertainment that it is, and it's so much better.
Now,
what do you think for the new seasons that have Love Island, if it's still happening live and in real time, but like the voting isn't a thing anymore? They do more eliminations like this or more games type thing. Like, what if they made Love Island into more game-y stuff? Like, do you think that would be better, or do you think they should just save the games for Love Island games? Like, what do you think about it? If it should be a crossover or what?
I like it. I like the Love Island games part, like the games stay in the games. Like I like the 2 duels that they did. Like I like how they've made these games competitive, but still they're Love Island games. They're Love Island games we've come to know, right? In the regular show, I feel like we do already kind of have that. We don't always get to choose who's the bottom 2 couples, right? Like they choose for us, and then we have to pick between the 2 couples, or we pick our favorite boy, our favorite girl, and then the producers somehow figure out a way to save the people they want anyway. So I think I could go either way with the voting on in that case. They could keep the voting, but I like the games being more serious here and leave it like that, and then do more relationship building stuff in the show.
Right. Do
And
more
so
dates. Do more dates. Like maybe we
Yeah,
vote on dates and stuff like that
yeah.
versus people, going home. I do like what you're saying. I do like that, you keep the games the game, because then why would you have to have a separate show if you incorporate it all into the regular Love Island? So I do
how
agree
would
with
you
that.
have eliminations though without the game? I'm just asking. I'm not being facetious. Like, how would you have eliminations if you don't have the producer, like, don't have the vote? How would you determine who is in like a bottom? I'm just spitballing.
I guess I
We'll
don't
say
know.
hi to CJ in the moment while we think about this. Hi,
Hi,
CJ.
CJ.
CJ also says it's so much better without the toxicity from the audience.
I
Absolutely.
know.
Having
I
Fiat
know.
500, having the
No.
conversations in the chat be more about like the toxic and like seeing
Hmm.
the ugliness of human
Hmm.
nature and human beings
Hmm.
and society, and instead we just get to focus on like an interesting TV show with people that we know that we're invested in their love stories.
Yeah, because I
And I
mean,
also think,
I
go
was
ahead,
gonna
CJ.
say like, it's not just like the UK version getting it. Like now, a lot of them are watching our version, and I feel like we had little bits of that. Like even Justine and Sully season, like when they pit like Justine and Rachel against each other for Caleb and all that stuff. But it wasn't. I don't feel like it ever was this bad. Like what we saw with this recent season with like Destiny and Imani and like taking situations and blowing it out of proportion to no end. So yeah, I don't miss any of it. I don't miss any of it.
And I also think that you're building relationships, right? But you're
Hmm.
building romantic relationships and friendships. They're not, you need to have people allies that you're working with.
True.
You're not just going to go over here and be rude because the audience is voting. So I can go try to be Usher and Mr. Steal Your Girl and
Right.
do all of this stuff and be manipulative. I have to be careful because you could be the power couple next week. I need to watch
Right.
what I say to you and how I say it,
Right.
because I need to work on that relationship too. And
Right.
I think because they've been so courteous to each other, and they're building those relationships while they're devastated when a couple goes home, because they've also been building, friendships as
Yeah, I
well.
So
mean
we still
that's
haven't
what
solved the
Lisa
problem.
in the butt, right? Like that's she did not build enough
Right.
connections on top
She
of
wasn't
being a
likable.
threat. Yeah, she wasn't.
Basically.
She just wasn't. She wasn't.
Right.
So we haven't really solved the problem though. So how do we not have the voting but still like be dumping people with keeping Love Island games separate? Or are you saying that the regular Love Island will still have the
It's gonna
audience
have
voting?
to. It's gonna have
Yeah,
to.
it is gonna have to. It really is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, because people, even still, like, I will say there's not as much toxicity, but even still, I've seen things being said like, oh, Amani hates Justine and Sully, and because she potentially could have thrown Justine and Jack in for an elimination a couple, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, can we stop this? Like, y'all are reading extra things into things that we're not seeing, and it's not happening. It's an edited show as it is. And I'm like, I haven't seen anything. I said, and even if Imani went to throw Justine and Jack in, I get it. They are like two of the most threatening people in the villa, period. I
Right.
would absolutely think about
Well, and
doing
also though, like in the competitive version of the show,
it. Yeah,
it's actually okay to try to get out the strongest people, right?
right,
Like it's part of the game. Like now, I would hope that she'd want to work with the other Black woman and the other American. I would hope
right,
so. But if
right.
she feels that Justine might beat her, I also understand her wanting to take her out.
Right.
So.
Exactly. That was my stance on it. And Justine's my girl, but I get it. I absolutely get it all around.
Like, if you saw her body in that first episode, she would be on my hit list for sure. I'd be like, sorry, that body and your physical abilities got to go.
Yeah.
Hi, Jaquan. Nice to see you again. All right, so with this episode, we're kind of coming off the back end of last night's episode, which was really explosive and fun, with having Knowing Me, Knowing You game, where we had to kind of guess for coins or for points what their partners were thinking about certain situations. And so basically, Johnny and Jess, they won this competition by getting the most amount of coins. But so we get to this episode to see what they're going to do with, most amount of points. Now, basically, they have points, and their points are going to turn into coins, and then they can use their coins to put in the slots or the piles of the other Islander couples. And whoever has the least amount of coins is going to be the power couple, and whoever has the most amount of coins, two couples, will be vulnerable in the bottom two, basically, essentially. What do you think about this as a challenge, and the fact that Johnny and Jess didn't get absolved?
Right. I know they were like, okay, we won this, and Jess is like, finally something I'm good at. I won. And it's like, no, it's not over. It's a part two.
I think that means the producers are not a fan of them.
I loved it. I thought it was good. Keep these people on the toes. Just because you won a challenge doesn't mean that means that's everything. And it just for me, it goes back to just, I feel like Johnny is just here for the games, right? Like Johnny is looking at this as this is the challenge USA, and that's it. Like that, there's no.
He actually said that in his live yesterday. He said,
I saw that you shared it.
I didn't see that, but I've already been peeping that the way that is why I feel like he closed off his connection with Liberty. I don't think he wanted to be distracted, because I personally felt like they had a better chemistry. I just also think he's toxic as fuck, and he didn't need to be with a genuine person like Liberty. So he did her a favor, but I also think that is why he's with Jess rather than with Liberty, right?
Well, he's unfortunately, I think he can, with less of a conscience, play Jess, because like Liberty is like really actually into him, and like I think that he has a little bit of a conscience. I bet. Right. Like
because he apparently he said to her before the recoupling that their conversations weren't deep enough. That's why he was leaning elsewhere.
That's what he said to Liberty?
Yeah. That's what Sally and Justine said on their YouTube recaps that they've been doing. And I was like, yeah, it's because he literally didn't want to hurt her. And
he just knows that like Jessica will play into the game. Like she'll play the role in this game. I think if he's playing with Liberty, she'll just be so earnest and being like, no, but you said to me that, like, she'll be like very honest and upfront, and like he would have to explain himself too much. With Jess, he knows that he could just be like, kiss me. She'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. And like, I'm mad. And like, are you mad? Like, and like he could manipulate her a little more easily with less of a conscience.
Yep, absolutely.
So Jaquan here says, at first I hated the twist because Johnny and Jess should have been the power couple. I respect Ray for Save My Boy. Could have voted in Amani and Ray. She won 2 challenges. Some people voting was crazy. So let's get to those votes. So the couples were kind of going back and forth. I think talking about like the reasons why they might want to put some coins in each person's slot. Okay, so neither of you have been introduced to Megan before. You don't know Megan, right? This is your first time?
I didn't know any. Literally, all these UK people are from the same season, except for Liberty and Tjoy. And I didn't know. That was the one. Well, not the one, but I didn't watch the first 4 seasons, so I have no idea who these people are. None.
Well, okay. So,
except for Jack, I do know Jack. I only know him because I've seen him around on other things, right? Like because he's a DJ.
So Megan was a bombshell in season 4. She caused a lot of havoc and chaos. Like, she was bouncing around from person to person, like everybody choosing Megan. Like, she definitely is the quintessential bombshell that doesn't give any F's and will just like go for what she wants. And then she's also been on a lot of other dating shows, dating men, dating women. Like, she's definitely very, very Love Island, like, superstar, we'll say. I think she has more than 1 million followers. I think all of them have 1 million followers, to be honest. So when she's talking with Kira, she was talking about how, like, Kira was saying, like, she wanted her to be open and honest. And then Megan is coming in being like, well, like, the first time now that I'm telling her how I feel, like, she's already saying that I'm like a bad person, like, and I did something wrong, and she's not being open with me. So how do you guys feel about the way that Megan's interpreting Kira's response to her still wanting to be open and trying to kiss AL?
I thought it was silly. It wasn't even that Kira was asking for just like you not to do that. What she was asking for was a communication on what you want to do, because that's kind of telling if you're going to evolve into anything. But and not even that, even just for these games, because you would see it messed them up in the game because she did not communicate with her. Even just that little bit of information got used in the game against them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she just wanted her to just be transparent about it. Like, if that happened, we were cuddling in bed. Like, you could have told me while the lights were out whispering. You could tell me in bed. You could have told me the next day while we were eating breakfast or whatever. Just tell me and let me know. Like, I didn't kiss him, but I was flirting with him. I'm a flirt. I'm still open. This is what happened.
Absolutely. Well, Megan is never really transparent and honest, to be fair.
I see that she like that kiss scene. I was like, ooh, she is toxic.
Which kiss one? She kisses so many people. Oh, when she's
trying to get AL.
She always does that. Just one kiss.
She's not used to being told no. So at that point, it became like, you're really telling me no? Like, so I think she just kept going in. And I think that's why he had to get up. Like, let me just get up because she ain't going to stop. And she might wear me down. I think that's why he was like, let's go.
So AL has been dating Lisa Rinna's daughter for a while. And so yeah, so I've seen him a couple times on the Housewives of Beverly Hills, just being her boyfriend.
Oh, so he's in LA.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's also pursuing music, I believe, as well. Just say this could be a good thing.
But they broke up recently? They had broken up recently?
They broke up between last season airing, I think. Okay. I can't remember when, but they're definitely broken up now. It wasn't close to this
the oldest one? The oldest one?
I don't know the difference between the two of them, so I don't know. What are their names again?
Not Bella.
Lisa Rinna's daughter. I feel like it's the younger one, but I don't know. Which one dated Scott Disick? I think it's that same one.
One of them had a...
is it Amelia or Delilah? I don't know now. Okay, hold on. Amelia and Al. Let's see.
Amelia was dating Scott.
Okay, so Delilah dated Al.
Okay.
They dated for 2 years.
Okay.
Well, they called it quits a year and a half ago. Or no, almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I guess then when it aired was a while ago. Or more soon. So yeah, so he's in LA, and he's still been kind of in like the reality TV world. And so I don't know, I feel good about him and Sally, to be honest. So Kira... so Liberty and Callum is who Kira is kind of wanting to put her coins in, but Megan wants to just make it even because Liberty is her best friend and Callum is also someone that she cares about as well. Jack and Justine are on different pages with how they're voting. How do you feel about Jack and Justine? Are you guys Jack and Justine stans, or do you think that, like, Justine last episode was a little bit worried that she was feeling more for Jack than he was for her? Like, do you...
I like them together,
I
but
like them
once
together.
I started looking at his Instagram, though, I do feel like I can understand her concern. But no, but in the game,
You wouldn't have seen it.
It just looks like he kind of um I don't know. Like it just doesn't come off like he is trying to commit. And I think she's starting to have, feelings, and she's thinking like, can this work outside of this? Like I really want love also. And she's become so comfortable and he's so easy to talk to. And I really like them together. I think they have good chemistry. And when I started to realize in that game that he also likes Imani. I never saw that coming. Did you see that? Like I never knew that he even looked at her. So I'm like, oh, he has a type. And so I just don't know. I don't know.
So this was my thing when Justine was pursuing Curtis, right? I got it. I understood it because from what we know of Curtis, even on his season, he pursued a black woman, right? A little bit, Jordan, right? So the fact that he like was into Justine, kissed Imani, I was like, and I know that he dances, and Justine loves a dancer, so I totally got that pursuit, right? And then she said on her YouTube recap that apparently he says he's moving to LA as well. So she is like, okay, it's like all lining up. I need to pursue Curtis, but we can only control what we can control, and I think she just has just been building feelings for Jack. I like their chemistry, right? But I also don't know his dating history. Um, I feel like he definitely acts like he likes her. I
mean, like even in bed. So I think it happened in this episode.
mhm.
The only people that were touching in like while
Yeah,
they're sleeping, like she's on her side and his arm is around
it's
her,
over her.
and
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like he doesn't need to
no,
do that.
no.
There's a lot of
Like
people that have
he keeps
chemistry.
pulling her close in bed. And it's not just been this night. There was like another night because I always try to jot down with like what they're doing in bed. And there was another night. It was the same thing. Everybody was like kind of apart, and she and Jack were like cuddled up
Yeah.
together.
No, I
Hmm.
think he likes her. No, I love their chemistry. She is starting to think. She was getting emotional because she's like, it's too early to ask, but
But
I
that
really
wasn't about Jack. That
I
wasn't
know
Yeah,
it
it's
was
about
kind of like
about
Jack.
what
Caleb.
Jaquan is
I
saying
know it was
here.
about Caleb. But I
Yeah.
think she really wants to know if something can happen outside of it. And what I'm saying is I don't know that while he's there, yeah, he likes her, but I don't know if he wants to pursue something outside of it. That's all.
But I think the reason why she feels that way is because she hasn't asked him the question because she's too afraid to ask him the question, right? That is like I think it's a real fear for her, and it's literally because what Caleb did to her, right? Um, but yes, she is traumatized. You could literally see it. The entire thing is like a fear wall that she just put up. It literally has nothing to do with Jack. I don't even think Jack knows that
I just
she
hope
had
though that
this.
she doesn't ruin her relationship with Jack
That's
from
what
the
I'm
fact
worried
that
about. Yeah.
Right.
Like he
she
could be thinking they're good and everything's fine and does not have any clue she's having these
Right.
feelings. Like look at Toby and Sally, right? Like I feel like that's what happened. He was telling Jack he was having these feelings that Sally did not like him as much, and she's in her diary room saying, I love him, like I think he's great, I'm attracted to him. She's excited about Toby, he's not feeling it, and he wasn't expressing that to her. So and look at it literally divided their relationship. So I do worry that because Justine has that fear and is not pushing through the fear to communicate to Jack, because he can't address what he doesn't know. It could be an issue for them down the road. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think she's definitely self-sabotaging right now for
Hmm.
sure. So I'm looking through his Instagram, and obviously there's a lot of like, shots with him with his shirt off and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
he does have a lot of black friends. I
Okay.
don't see any girlfriends necessarily,
Hmm.
like any gender or any race. So um
Yeah, no, it's like when he hangs out, if you look at some of the videos, I was looking at it last night, and like there's a car video, there's a black woman in the passenger seat. He barely shows her. And then there's another video, where I was just looking at the whole video and it was a black, it was a black woman. But that's what I was just saying. It's not that I don't think that he's attracted to her or he likes her. I'm just wondering if she's wants something long term outside of the villa, and that he may not want that because he's just out being young, DJing, touring the world, and I'm just here for a good time. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
It's hard to say. Like, you're on a love show, and so
and sometimes you gotta separate image from wants, right? Like he's a DJ, so that just might be his image, right? Like what's on his Instagram, like his job image.
Too is that I think that she would fit into his life or image, like I can see her and Sally hanging out backstage at like a concert with him. So like, I don't know. I don't know. I think that I think he really likes her a lot. I think that she might be self-sabotaging. I feel I'm hoping that she will either have a conversation with him and get to hear what he actually thinks and feels. And so there's clarity, because a Pisces just loves to ruminate on things that don't actually exist. And they just create their own internal problem about something that they don't know is factual. And they create it to become facts because they think about it over and over again. And it's just not true. We just see Toby doing the exact same thing. He's ruminating, thinking over and over again about something that actually isn't happening, but he thinks it's true because he's thinking about it over and over again. So I'm hoping, because he's a Capricorn, Capricorns are grounded, they're loyal, and they're thoughtful. And I think that if they have a conversation, he will give her the groundedness that she needs to feel more safe and more confident. So I'm hoping that she will do this.
Have that conversation. Right. I agree.
It's like they're a good match astrologically, and
I looked at their chart that Love Island Astrology, I think it is, posted. And I was like, ooh, they're actually a pretty good match. Them and Ray and Imani, pretty good matches. Sally and like literally, if you read their chart, it was like communication. Sally and Toby, it was literally it was never on the same.
He even said that about her and Justine and how their relationship fell out could be contributing on how they communicate, her being a Gemini and Justine being a Pisces, and that's the same combination as her and Toby. And so it's just very interesting when people just say like astrology doesn't mean anything. How these patterns, it's just patterns. We're just looking at patterns. And likelihood and potentials, and it's potential that they weren't going to do well, and there's a higher potential that Sally and AL are going to do better, with him being a Leo and her being a Gemini. She's going to like that energy a lot,
and we see it. Like he already is doing the things that we know that the physical touch, the verbal, verbally communicating to her that he is into her. Yeah.
And also touching her. Like, I think it was last episode. He's like, oh, he's like touching my knee. And I was noticing it. He's touching her knee as if like they've been dating for a year. And I was like, okay.
And that was the first thing she said when he came in. Her and Toby do not have any physical interactions with each other.
And that's the problem.
And he turned down that kiss. And she's thinking, oh my goodness, he was trying to be respectful of me. Turn down that kiss.
Oh,
I mean, he didn't tell her, but she's like.
Well, he was apparently giving Megan the opportunity to say something to Kira first. So, and then the game happened beforehand, and the
Maura
producers decided to put him in the hot seat.
Yeah.
So Liberty doesn't want to put in Imani. Imani thinks that people are going to target them because they're a strong couple. Sally thinks that Johnny is really strong. So that's kind of just like the little bits and pieces of like the rationales and reasoning why they're going to either put or not put coins in somebody's slot. So Maura comes back with the results, and the fewest coins end up being Imani and Ray.
I was shocked because they've been winning quite a bit. Right. And I was wondering if everybody just wanted them to have, because they see their connection, they wanted them to have more time.
I mean, yeah, maybe because like it is an interesting balance because we have people like Johnny who want to be there just for the game and for the win and for the money. And then you have somebody like Imani and Ray who seem like, yes, they'd want to win the money, but they really are building a connection. So,
I mean, and four of those couples were never going to, 3 or 4 of those couples were never going to target Ray and Imani. Ray is best friends with Justine and Sully and Johnny and probably Kira
and Toby probably a little bit too.
Yeah, and so I just don't see that they would have outright targeted them. But Johnny, I understood people targeting. Absolutely. Yeah,
I understood it too.
Yeah, get rid of him.
I definitely would.
Like him being Sally's ex and prying her, which was so damn rude. But like, there's just many reasons why to get Johnny out of there. But you know, we'll see what happens, right? So second place with 40 coins was Justine and Jack. So I was like, ooh, it's not great to come second in one of these things because like you have no power and like people might look at you to target
and you're seen as a threat.
100%. Yeah. Third place with 65 coins was Georgia and Toby. Fourth with 71 was Selly and Al. Fifth, 83 coins was Kira and Megan. I'm surprised they didn't get more coins, but it must be because Kira is American and like the American.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's the law of averages. Like we know that like 3 or 4 of those people are not going to allow their partner to target them, regardless of what happened in the challenge. You know.
Yeah.
Sixth place with 206 coins is Jessica and Johnny. She's obviously annoyed. She's so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I thought annoyed was my word, but it's actually Jess's word. And seventh place with 332 coins is Liberty and Callum. Ouch. I mean, it's mostly because they don't have a connection, and I think that both of them would take it the best. Right? Callum is not going to really come back and retaliate. Same with Liberty. She might be upset, but she's not going to be vindictive and like they're not going to win likely and then like come and take you out. So it's kind of a safe bet, kinda.
I agree.
So Johnny is also kind of irritated because he thinks that people are just keeping their friends because they're going to have to duel tomorrow. Those 2 bottom couples or vulnerable couples. And Jessica's just like, haven't I been through enough? She's so
I can't.
She's the worst. So Ray gets a text, and Imani and him get a hideaway date. I didn't know if there was going to be hideaways this season, so now we know that sometimes the power couple will get an opportunity in the hideaway.
Which makes sense because if the power couple is strong enough, they have a strong enough romantic connection. Absolutely.
He just says, I think Jack is 25% black. I agree with Tjoy. The distance doesn't help as well.
Right. That's the only thing. But he's also a DJ. And if he's an international DJ, the distance is not like he can move to LA and get jobs if he needs to. But
and at this point, I think that they're starting to have some money.
Yeah.
Like they probably got a nice paycheck to turn up on this one. She won her 50 grand. She went on the challenge. Like she's getting gigs. Like I think she might be doing okay at this point. And he has a million. He has over 1 million followers on Instagram, so he's probably doing okay. So I don't know. I don't think like a 6-hour plane ride. Well, I guess she lives in LA, so 9-hour plane ride is that much, you know?
So
but it's not about the money. It's about do you keep doing it. It's not even about the money. It's like, do you even keep going through the motions when you have somebody that looks good who's down the street or who's in the same city?
If she meets somebody else, that's obviously different. But I'm saying that like if I have a connection with somebody, I wouldn't think that distance is going to be a factor if I have a lot of money to be able to commute.
Travel.
Like, because that's usually what the determining factor. It's not that they meet somebody else. It's the fact that they can't see each other as often as they'd like to. And so if that's not necessarily an issue,
right.
Then
if you take that out the stop the blockage. Yeah, absolutely.
But like obviously if you meet somebody else,
It would be literally the time factor and the ability to like how far apart you are, right? Because
Well, like I remember I dated this guy for a long time, long distance, and
mm-hmm,
like we would just basically talk to each other at midnight and noon every day. Right? Like we just like have like a
mm-hmm,
Skype date and like hang out. And so like cause he was in the Philippines. And so I would talk to him when I woke up at 12 and or like at that time, and he'd be at
mm-hmm.
midnight at his time, and then at midnight we'd talk before we went to bed. And so and the
Okay.
opposite. So it worked for like we talked for like that for a long time. Like we knew each other in person, and then we kind of
Mm-hmm.
kept it going for a long time, just like over Skype. Yeah, I don't know, it can work if you want it to.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaquan, it's toxic right here. Oh, Jaquan, you're such trouble. Jaquan didn't see anything wrong with Johnny pieing Megan and with pieing Selly, and Megan and Yael pied each other. I looked at this as a fun game. I like how Imani kissed Yael longer. It appeared so Ray kissed Selly longer. Okay, Johnny pieing Selly was targeted, in my opinion. Jaquan. Megan Yael, that was a little bit more lighthearted,
Mm-hmm.
just because like they had some history, and so like they can get away with that because they're not going to make anybody else really that mad.
Mm-hmm.
With the kissing part, the reason why Ray kissed Selly longer was because it's like, whoa, that kiss with Imani and Yael went along. Apparently, it went on way longer than we showed. And so he was like, okay, you're going to go that long? I'm going to go way longer with Selly. So it was in retaliation.
That's why during the challenge, she chose Selly as the one he would pursue instead of her.
Mm-hmm.
Because that kid
Selly chose Imani as the one AL would pursue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which there. I mean, listen, I get it.
I mean, those are like, even if you switch around those couples, are very good couples.
I would still believe it, except for that Ray's a Taurus and him and Sully would not work.
Taurus? Oh yeah, you hate your Geminis.
This is my thing too. A lot of my whole thing with Ray is I have concerns with Ray. And so I have concerns with Ray.
I mean, Ray's the best I've seen him because he was toxic as F on X on the Beach.
That's why I have between X on the Beach, Amazing Race.
Oh, he was terrible on Amazing Race.
I'm concerned about Ray. His first Love Island season.
The COVID season of Amazing Race. They didn't come back when they had that 7-month pause.
Because they broke up.
Shut down, and they didn't come back because they broke up in that 7 months, the beginning of COVID.
Mm-hmm. And they broke up badly because they weren't even friends. Like we were here thinking that they were cool, and then they weren't cool. Then they went on the X on the Beach, and we found out why they weren't cool because Carl, was under the impression that he was fucking his best friend. And he kept saying, "No, I'm not. But she's just my best friend. She's just my best friend." We found out he was fucking like 2 of his best friends behind Carl's back.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Drove her, and then tried to drive her crazy on X on the freaking beach.
Yeah, she took herself out of the equation. She's like, this man's making me too angry. I'm like throwing blasters at him. Like,
people were so mad at her reactions, but I was like, do you understand what he did to her? I was so mad on her behalf.
He was really bad. But the person, like, when I was like, oh my God, Ray's here, like, get rid of him, whatever. And then, like, he's a very different person than I saw him on any of his other seasons. So I'm going to keep an open mind that maybe he's had a little bit of growth. Maybe he has, like, maybe how he treated Caro was kind of like how Johnny is treating Jessica. Like, maybe they just have like a dynamic where that's how it came. Like, I don't know, but it just seems that he respects Imani more than he ever respected Caro.
True. But I did like them on their season. I actually wanted them to win, and they did last the longest out of the finalists. So again, he's also best friends with Asada, and she's married, and he went to their wedding, and so he's gotten to the age where this, like, your friends are getting married, your friends are in long-term relationships. I can just hope that he has grown enough and mature enough to evolve. That's my only thing. So of the men that are there, I have high concerns about
Agreed. I mean, definitely. Nicole is saying, I think that long distance could work depending on the people, but Hannah and Marco moved in together while Leo and Cassie broke up because of the distance. But they're a little bit younger, and then also they have a little bit less money. Like Justine's 30 at this point, so, and I think Jack is up there in age as well, and so it just could be a time where maybe they'll be willing to make these sacrifices or lifestyle changes. Like, I think that he would more likely move to LA than she would move to the UK.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes down. Because, like, I don't know. I guess because I'm a person that would travel, I don't really have anything holding me down. It's like, it's not going to stop me. So that's just me, though. I like not being in one place too long. Jake Cohen says, Love on Galen's the cast of heroes and villains. It's out of, yes, you love them or hate them. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of heroes and a lot of villains. The heroes, well, we know who the heroes are, but the villains are Megan. The villains are Johnny. Any other villains? Jess. Oh, yeah, I guess she's a villain that thinks she's a hero.
Correct. Lisa's gone. She was definitely a villain. Steph would have been a villain, I think, too, if he had stayed, I think. But it's kind of like if you have a Johnny in there, you don't need a Steph.
Oh, well, they're like best friends now. He was like hanging out with Johnny.
Oh my God! So they posted. I did. I send it to you guys. I sent it to somebody. And maybe another group chat I have. And it was like Steph, Toby, Cinco, also like all these men. It's like this is like not the cast of Love Island Games. This is the cast of fucking F Boy Island. Like what? All of them in one damn room.
I mean, they're all really good looking, though.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Hello. I mean, they not picking no people that's ugly now. That's
like
sure.
They're very, 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 very good looking. Okay, so
and that man coming in, baby. I saw him on Instagram.
Who's it?
Oh wait, Michael or Carrington? Who are you talking about?
Oh, not Carrington. Michael.
The black guy that's coming in. That's from the UK. I think he's from the UK.
Mike. Yeah.
Mike.
Oh wait, Mike. Oh, Mike with Priscilla. Mike.
Yes, Priscilla and Mike.
I was like,
listen. I said when they dropped that little trailer for next episode, I was like, they about to bring in 3 of the best OGs from across Love Island to drop his bombshell. That's what I'm saying. You can't compare. Like these are all like the best people of their like season. Like this is crazy. Crazy.
I mean, fine. I mean that man is fine. Like fine.
I still want to know why him and Priscilla broke up though.
Looking like this. I was like 3 a.m. and I was obsessed. I was like, let me get off this man's Instagram. Liking all his pictures.
Oh my God. Miss Teacher, are you okay? Did you need some more sleep? Shoni says they're excellent bombshells. Yes. I mean, I don't personally I like Courtney as a person, but I think she it might be a little bit flat. You know what I mean? Like personality wise, I don't know if she's gonna pop with like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like.
Well, I mean, if she's coming in and she gets to pursue a girl, we gonna get Courtney.
So do you think Courtney is gonna go for Megan
or Kira?
I think that she probably already knows Kira. Wait, Courtney's what? She was a Cancer. Actually, all of them are water signs, so maybe they'll be a throuple.
I can see her going for both of them personally. So
I just find Kira so boring. Unfortunately, she's gorgeous, of course, but I just find her so boring. I've just never been a fan. Even on X on the Beach, she was boring.
But I think the last time when we saw Courtney, she did not get to pursue who she really wanted to pursue really in her villa. And so I think if she's allowed to pursue women, because I feel like that's where
Sagittarius. She was pursuing someone that was
a Gemini. I thought it was a Gemini.
Who was the guy in the end? The guy in the end was a Cancer, I think. I can't remember now. Whatever. Anyway, she's Sag though. I'm remembering that now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Both of them are Pisces, so They might have chemistry, but it'll fizzle out.
Mm.
Dan says, well, I seen the trailer again, and I saw him on a couples up with Mike.
Okay. I don't blame her.
Oh,
not shocked. She should.
I mean,
that man is fine,
and he has a British accent. He has a British
accent. I can see it.
He's tall.
What's his chart? I forget.
He really gonna dominate then. If she got that man,
and he has a really good personality.
He does.
He's a hunk
I
of
like
man.
Mike. I've always liked Mike. A lot of people didn't like Mike during the season, but I
just didn't like the season.
Oh yeah, you didn't like the season. I did like the season only because of Mike and Priscilla personally.
Hi, Skylar. So Skylar says episode 12 synopsis said a recoupling leaves someone in tears. Ray and another heartbroken.
Probably Ray. Mm-hmm.
And he guesses, I think Ray is the one crying. Yes, I think Ray's the one crying as well.
Sorry, I can see it.
You're
and let me tell y'all, this is a side note, but when I was on the Instagram and I got caught up in everybody's Instagram, right? Justine and Sally, and Ray were commenting on Jack's Instagram. Jack was commenting on theirs, and Steph and and Johnny. Toby, but Imani they weren't commenting on hers, and she wasn't commenting on theirs.
Oh, so
they follow
Ray commented on hers at the start of the season. She did not respond. He's August 17th, so Leo.
Yeah, who's who?
Michael.
Mike. Oh, see, she's hot, but and you said she's what? Cancer?
She's a Cancer, so adjacent.
It depends. Maybe he has his Mercury might be in Cancer, so that could be he might be able to communicate in a way that she finds safe. But she's going to be attracted, of course, to him wanting to be center of attention and the leader of the pack. But I think that eventually she might not like the fact that he's the lion.
Mike,
right?
Yeah.
She won't be the star. He will be the star. You know.
Yeah,
and I think that she won't necessarily like that in the end. But go for it. You're young. You're what? She's 22, 23? Like, get it.
That's what I say.
Hello.
You live, you learn, right? You might as well learn the hard way with someone good looking like Mike. So Sally's really upset about the comment about her faking it. So she's been crying about this quite a bit. It's bedtime now. And this is where I noticed that Jack's arm was over Justine. I'm like, he cares about her. Regardless of what he wants after, he cares about her in this moment. And so this is good. In the hideaway, they get a text. And there's no rest for the wicked here for these damn producers because they are deciding that they can switch one of the vulnerable couples out for another of the remaining couples. Now, do you think that this was a must, or did they actually say can't? Like it was a choice; they could choose not to.
No, I think they had to.
No, I thought they said that they could choose not. They could choose not to. They just, if they chose to do it, they had to tell them right then and there which couple they were going to do.
Right.
Oh.
So she wants to use Johnny to take out somebody, right? So leave Johnny there and to have Johnny take out one of the power couple or like one of the stronger couples.
Right.
But Ray wants to keep Johnny because Johnny has been keeping them safe. He can expect that Johnny, because he's so into winning the competitions, that he might win power again and might be able to keep them safe. So he wants to protect Johnny. What would you have done in this situation?
I would have done what they did. I think for Ray,
I would have let him have it.
Yeah, for Ray, I feel like that was a smart move because Johnny's the only other US guy, and he's the only other stronger guy in the villa. So he's his shield right now.
Right.
Now, would you have agreed with who they decided to replace them with?
The couples that were left that they didn't have ties to.
I guess they did have ties to everybody. So they have ties to Justine and Jack, of course. They have ties to Selly and Ayal, of course. Kira, I guess, like a loose tie too. I mean, they're from the same season originally, so I guess he was going to put them in.
Because that's what I'm saying. It would have either had to have been Kira and Megan, or I think Toby and Georgia, which was the right move.
Let me ask you this: if they had picked Kira and Megan, let's just say they had picked them,
it might have been a different.
Do you think they would have had a different type of duel?
Actually, I don't think so, because the weight was so unbalanced in this one that, like, I don't think that they would have changed it.
I think they would have let it stand.
I do.
Oh.
Or maybe they'll just do a completely different game. They might have other games ready to go. Yeah, but
because the ring was like empty. So like before they had that what do you call it? The balance being So it seems like with the duel they could put in whatever they want to into that ring. So whatever game they decide, they could probably replace it. It's probably easily replaceable. They probably have a few things up their sleeve, and like depending on who it's between. Yeah, that's probably why they had to send who they were doing
to rig it to suit better the couple. Yeah, absolutely. So they decide they want to save Johnny and Jess, and they're going to put up Toby and Georgia instead. So in the morning, Imani and Ray return from the hideaway, and I was really grossed out by Johnny rubbing Jess in the morning, because like right now they think that they're going into the duel, and he just wants her to like get ready. I don't know. I'm just like, he's so smarmy to me this season. Like it's like
everything
from the beginning. At least like, it was a progression. Like he wasn't so gross in the beginning of his season. Like now that he's become a reality TV villain, like he's leaning into it, and
he leans into it.
So before, like it was just like the birth of a villain. Now it's like he's like in his villain era. You know?
Yeah. He definitely had so many people snowed. I could not stand him.
I liked him till the hideaway.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hated him. And then I was like, well, she still likes him, so I'm going to support Selly. So came back around. But yeah, he, and I just thought that like, I just liked him and Selly together. Like they were cute.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I thought so.
Caleb had me snowed. That's who had me.
Caleb did.
I still think that he liked her. I just don't think he liked her as much as his girlfriend, who he's still with. Because the man is not a good actor. I'm sorry, you can't tell me that he can act that well.
Okay, makes it different. I never really saw their full like spark. I thought that maybe he liked her as a person, but I never saw like I always said that I never saw the spark. Anyways, doesn't matter. So Ayal brings Selly a coffee, and Ray is feeling really bad because like everybody's just like hanging out like normal, and he knows that poor Toby and Georgia are gonna have to be going into the duel. We see Liberty and Callum training with the bean bags, and then Johnny and Jess are like cuddling together on like the outdoor sofas, and of course Jess is annoyed, and they're annoyed that they're gonna have to go in, and I was just like, this is cringe. They're just cringe. Jaquan, you want us to be mad.
They didn't say no what.
Want to protect Johnny at all costs.
Johnny loves being a villain. He will probably tell you he's a villain.
Yeah,
he did. He said it is his life. He's like I'm in my villain era. He did.
I'm not offended that y'all call me players because it's a game. I'm a player. That's right. I'm playing the game.
This is why I unfollowed his ass a long time ago.
So Jaquan says Justine and Selly didn't trust Johnny until Johnny chose to save Justine and Jack over Steph and Ray. Right. Ray kept telling them that Johnny was loyal, which he proved he was loyal to their alliance. Yes. No, I mean, it does make sense for them to keep, if they want to be USA strong, like it's the way to go. And then hopefully if one of their friends that are with a UK person, they will potentially be able to protect them in the future. So it was the best decision for sure.
Yeah.
And it does allow Johnny to have more loyalty. Like more willing to stay with USA. But I don't know if I trust Johnny, but I feel I could see this coming back to haunt Ray. You know what I mean? I could see it.
I said the same thing. I was like, he's sitting there saying thank you. And, okay, we'll get to that part. I was like, I don't know. Ray, I don't trust him. The fact that he came after Imani in the first place for the duel, because we knew like I said when I did my recap, we knew he was not choosing Sally. So he literally targeted Ray to take Imani. And Ray is supposed to be your closest guy person there.
Right.
Come on now. No mercy.
Shardy says Johnny in House of Villains season 2. Ship or not ship?
I don't know. I stopped watching it after because I heard who got eliminated. I was like, I was only watching for her.
It's still pretty good.
It's good.
Next episode's going to be real good.
All right, well, I'll try to catch up.
Like the next episode is just like Tanisha has bars, okay? Like just how it just looks like it's gonna be.
Tanisha is a Virgo, and when she gets mad, when we're mad and fed up, it's to the gutter.
Yeah, and it's like the things that she comes up with, I'm just like, wow, you're quick with your comebacks.
Walk away with your melting pants.
But that's another show that I feel like came out of left field, and I feel like they did such a good job with staging that show. And it's again edited. We don't have any input into the voting of that show, and know there's games and all that stuff. I think they did a good job on it too.
Agreed, totally. So Selly, Imani, and Kira are all talking, and they're kind of upset about the game still. Selly's upset about being called fake. Imani's just upset in general, and Kira is upset about the fact that Megan, wasn't being completely truthful and honest with her. And so like they all were just Imani was there just coming to supporting her friends about the situation with the games. But she's also probably thinking in her head, like, oh God, it's going to be wild. When is this happening? I'd be so nervous.
I would have been so nervous. Especially to not say nothing to nobody.
The one that told Ray, remember, she was like, we're not going to say anything.
I don't think they were allowed to say anything.
I don't think they were allowed to say anything.
Oh, because she was like, I told Ray we're not going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was probably the producers.
I don't think that they're like maybe no. Or maybe they were allowed to. They would have been allowed to give just that those. No, they wanted the surprise. There's no way.
Yeah, no. They wanted the blind side. Yeah, no.
So Selly, of course, is disappointed and feels disrespected. And then we see Toby, and knowing that Toby and Georgia are going to be in the duel, talking about how happy that they were that they came in third, and that means that they like each other, and like people like I can see that they're working towards a relationship, and talking on that beach bed. She's relieved that she doesn't have to go into the duel. And she brings up Selly because Selly, and she heard that conversation about Selly being upset and wanting to pull him for a chat. And so just like for him to be aware that's going to be happening. So when Toby goes back to the villa, Toby does pull Selly, and she's crying to him. And he's like, basically these bombshells came in. It was radio silence. And she said like, well, I was feeling like you weren't doing like, they're both talking. And I'm like, how can you guys both not see what's going on here? Because he's basically being like, well, you didn't pursue me. And she's like, but you were pursuing me. And I've been telling you many times that I like to be pursued. And so I feel like if you were pursuing me, that means you're not interested in me. And that you've I told you this many times. And he's just like, well, like you weren't pursuing me. And I was like, they're just not getting.
Let it go, girl. That's not your person. You want to be pursued.
She did a good job of doing that too. She of just being like, okay, obviously we ain't getting on the same page, so I'm gonna go get my water. Bye.
Yeah, she's like, we're not getting there because he just like it was just like blank, and I was like, okay, Toby, do you get what she's saying here or no? Like, what's up?
I'm telling you, I feel like these people text and and going to school virtual and just all this stuff. The younger generation, they don't know how to effectively communicate. It's very frustrating to me.
It's pretty bad. And they don't catch like these social cues. Like, I don't know. I think that Sally was being pretty obvious when she's just like staring at him like this, like kind of wanting a kiss or whatever. Or like he just didn't pick up any of these cues that she was giving. And you would think that he would, as a Pisces, be able to see all these like energetic and emotional kind of cues, but he just needs it to be a little bit more literal, which is wild. It's not normal. Not normal, but like it's unusual.
I mean, to be fair, I personally like it when you are clear. So I personally,
she was pretty clear though. No, you don't think she was clear?
Clear too.
I think she was clear in that she liked him, but I don't think she was clear and for him, clear enough for him and how much she liked him, right? Like,
but she said she liked him. She said she liked to be pursued.
Right. But I don't think that's the part that he can do. That's what I'm saying. So like,
so he wasn't clear. He wasn't.
No, he was clear. He said very much. He also wanted to be pursued. They had just had that conversation.
After, no, but it was after.
But he didn't say to her when she was saying, "I want to be pursued." He didn't say, "That's not what I do. I'm not going to pursue you because I like to be pursued too." Or, you know, I mean, he didn't.
He just would be silent. He would be silent, in my opinion. Like I didn't feel from what they showed on the episodes that he was ever telling her why, because like she'd be like, "I just feel like, you know, nothing's really moving towards anything."
Yeah.
And he'd just be like,
yeah, that's what I said. I said he did not tell her how he was feeling until later. But that by that part, it was far gone. But he did say he wanted to be pursued. But my whole thing is, I feel like at that point it's a standoff because they both want what neither of them seem to be able to compromise on.
Fair, but like I don't know. I had to go back into gender roles here, and it's just like, okay, like a man being pursued is what Jessica's doing, and I just don't think that that's appropriate for. It's not gonna work. I don't think.
I've come to the conclusion watching these dating reality shows, men like to be pursued. There are some men that like to be pursued heavy and they love it. Not really my type, but have at it. Right. There's a pot for every lid.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen if those lids close yet, right? Like these, it's very, very fluid world, absolutely. But like nobody wants to be in a relationship anymore. And I'm wondering if it's because these gender roles are being blurred, because it is like a masculine energy to pursue and it's feminine energy to be pursued. Even biologically, the anatomy is one of pursued and one of pursuing. It's just like how we fit together in the puzzle biologically, naturally. Obviously there is going to be variations of everything, but I think like just like the nature of the biological nature of human beings that are heterosexual, that's just kind of how it works. It's nature, in my opinion. But anyways, they're just not going to be able to do it because they both want to be pursued, and you know that Sally wants to have that masculine guy that's like tells him that he wants her, and he didn't want to do that, and she that's
what I came to. I just don't think he wanted to do that because he wanted her to do that.
It's just wild to me.
They do.
Well, I guess because like, and okay, that comes to what I was saying in the beginning is that on his season he hadn't ever had a girlfriend, and then he comes on this show. And all the girls are after him, pursuing him. Like Chloe did go and get him and kind of take him away from Kaz, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's just what he
I think Abby did the same thing. Abby came and took him away from Chloe.
Yeah, and then Chloe took him back or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's never had to do any pursuing in his knowledge of dating.
Yeah.
And dating in this environment. And so I don't know if he's ever actually pursued anybody. So I don't think he actually knows how to be honest. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't know how to, and it's not the right environment for him to learn. Anyways, I still love Toby. I wish that he was able to get on the same page because I did like them together.
I did too.
Like, come on, just like make it work. It's so easy. Like you're so close. Like just
they had good basis. They had good chemistry. Because I saw like little clips of them prior to the show starting. I was like, oh my gosh, I would have never put them together, but it kind of mentally made sense. It's like they're both very funny. They're both sweet people. But I was like, is there chemistry? And they actually had chemistry.
I really, really liked them together. I thought they were fun. Like, and also, do you remember though? Jack was saying to them, like kiss her, steal her for a kiss. So he was trying to push her to be like, she wants it. Just go, just do it.
Go do it. And she said it. She said it. He picks her up, and she's like, "You gonna take me to the beach?" And he never took her to the beach. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. It's just, it's not fundamentally what he does.
I didn't watch the whole thing of this, Jaquan. Did you watch the whole thing of Love Island Australia last season?
I didn't watch any of Love Island Australia last season.
So Jaquan said if you all watched Love Island Australia last year, Jess moved on from guy number 2, from guy to guy because she got attached real quick. The guy would do her wrong or manipulate her, and she would just forgive, and then she just wants to be loved. Absolutely, we like that's obvious. She wants to be loved and doesn't want to.
And Johnny could tell that. He saw her coming a mile away. Yeah.
Vulnerable, and she just kind of allowing him to do his toxic thing. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't learned yet, but she's still young. She'll learn it eventually.
She'll get it.
Eventually, yeah, she'll get it. So Maura is back. It's the duel time, and the couple is going to be leaving the villa immediately. Did they know it was an immediate thing?
I think that's why they were all gasping, because I don't think because the last time when they did the duel, the couples didn't leave. They just
this recoupled up. Well, they're going to be leaving immediately. So all the vulnerable couples go up beside Maura, and Maura asks them, she's messy this season. Did you get a text? They're like, yes, you got a text. You couldn't just say it. Like you had to make us say that we chose for these two people to go in the duel. Jeez Louise. So she lets everybody know that they got a text and they are going to be able to save a couple and then replace that couple with one of the originally safe couple. So Megan isn't feeling well, so she isn't at the duel here. They tell us, so they made Ray say it out loud that they saved Johnny and Jess, and Johnny is like, okay, I owe you guys. And we chose Toby and Georgia. And I felt really, really bad. I really felt bad because I think Toby is a nice, sweet guy. And you don't like Toby still?
No, I love Toby.
I don't really know him. I just got introduced to him on this show. And just the way with him and
you would
Shelly,
have been up and down with him on his season.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you the truth. Yeah, so didn't like the way that Toby treated Kaz, but he's also not the worst one. I feel like that treated Kaz the worst. Like after they stopped being together, I feel like he did try his best to protect her in the game. That being said, I did like him and Chloe together. I thought he was funny. I thought he was hilarious. I don't have a problem with Toby. I don't know if I like Georgia. Was I supposed to like Georgia? I don't know if I like.
Well, you never really got to see Georgia, right? Yeah. Like she was there for 2 sleeps, I think. So nice 3 days ish. She was only really doing the whole coquette thing where she's just like, I'm shy, like giggle, like I laugh when I'm embarrassed, whatever, nervous, blah blah blah. But like I think that Johnny would have gone for her next, or she would have gone in and stolen Johnny. Like she is not afraid of doing the most. You know what I mean? Like she made it to the finals for her season too. So. And she's kind of like a better version of what was her name from last season? UK with the eyes.
Molly?
No, Katie. Like Katie when she was younger was just like a wild spitfire. She was a little bit of like that. She wasn't afraid to hold back, and so we just didn't get a chance to see the other sides of Georgia. I feel.
Okay.
All right. So Toby thinks this is obviously bullshit. They're the newest connection. Like, why would they be chosen?
Because you're the newest connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Sucks. It's too bad. So basically they're going to be back to back and they're going to have to pull the other team and hit their bell. This is kind of like the challenge where they've had many of these where you have to like, usually they're in sand. They have to dig and go inch by inch in the sand and ring a bell. I thought it was pretty unfair, to be honest, because like Liberty and Callum probably had about 100 pounds.
I was going to say they had way more weight than like Liberty's body is rock solid. Yeah, she has a gorgeous body. It like, you know, it's that hourglass figure that people always talk about. Like, she's just oof. Like,
yeah, Liberty, yeah.
But Georgia probably weighs 99 pounds.
And Georgia is probably, no.
And Toby is not very tall and he's lean. So he probably has like 165 pounds. So maybe they're like 265 in total. I think that they probably have about 100 pounds on them. Like,
I agree.
Liberty's taller, sturdier, and Callum's taller and more muscular. And so like Callum probably weighs 210 pounds. And I don't know how much Liberty weighs, but like a lot more than Georgia. And I just like felt bad because like Toby was trying so hard, but like Georgia was just like flying all over off the ground because like
he kept hitting into her. He kept hitting into her because he's doing all the work for them because she's basically at that point just like, you know, like one of those like rag dolls tied to something that's like being flopped around because all the weight is here and here and here and here, and there's nothing she can do. She would have been better off letting him drag her.
Yeah, like she should have just maybe just like laid down.
She should have just dead weighted it. Dead weight, because then it would have made it harder for Liberty and Callum to drag her and him because she's limp. And Toby could try to like because she's out his way now, pull them out. But
I wish that they were doing it on sand because then at least Toby would have a chance to dig in and like get some leverage to be able to pull
I was gonna say there's some sturdiness,
because like you know he couldn't grasp onto anything and he just didn't have the weight, and so he would need to have like dug in and made himself something that he could pull himself and just get some like just some momentum
going.
And like and stop them from being able to pull them every time they kind of move forward a little bit, you know.
It
was really disheartening to watch. It was quite like I was pretty invested in it. I really
I was watching it too on the edge of my seat.
I knew that they weren't going to win, but like I was still in it. The first round went easily to Callum and Liberty, and I was thinking like, you know what, Georgia might have more stamina than them, so maybe Georgia and Toby could pull it out if they tired them out a bit. And so I was hoping for that. And then the second one, when like Toby was so close, and then he misses it,
missing it because she was like in his way. Georgia was like in his way. There was nothing
not he could allowed do. To pull the rope. And I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah,
it's like they had the weight difference was so mismatched, unfortunately. So round 3 happens. They have to win this round to stay in. And Liberty and Callum do win this third round, but Liberty touched the rope. So they have to do another round. And unfortunately,
it's like getting dark. I was like, oh my God, this is bad.
It's not good. It's so sad. And so I was hoping that, you know, because they lost in the end and it was really, really sad. Sally is crying through the whole thing.
Oh, she couldn't even watch it. You could see her like covering her, like she didn't know what to do with herself. She kept covering her face.
Yeah, it was really sad. This is where I started crying a little bit. And then, you know, after they go in and they're just like, Sally goes and takes Toby to go talk to him, and she's just bawling, and he's telling her not to cry, and she's like, I want to cry, like I want you to know. that I cared about you. And he just won't even let her, he won't even take it in, you know? Like, so I think that he just doesn't know yet how to pursue somebody or even be pursued, because she was giving him signals, I think, that like she was interested, you know what I mean? And she's just kind of like smiling at him to like kiss and stuff like that. They just weren't able to get on the same page romantically.
Same page. Yeah.
It was very sad. I cried and I was like, oh my God, why am I crying over this stupid show? Right. And so yes, Georgia and Toby will be exiting the villa. Now I'm hoping, I mean, maybe it's probably not going to happen, that it might be a fake out, because you think that they would want to get rid of Georgia so quickly. I don't know. I think
they're gone. I don't think it's a fake out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fake
people
out.
Are coming in. They can't stay, and the other 3
there's more people coming.
I know. That's why I was saying, like, I don't think so. When I saw the 3 new people coming, I'm like, no, they need more people to filter through here. Jaquan here is saying that I think Toby and Georgia should have gotten a point when Liberty touched the rope instead of starting over. That would have been dynamic.
Yeah,
giving them some hope that, like, hey, like. True. But no matter what, it would still be like you'd have to get one more. Skylar's saying the heart rate challenge is up next.
Okay.
I wonder if Jack can dance. Might, maybe.
Yeah, she might not worry about that long distance no more if he can't. Listen, if you think everything Caleb put her through was bad enough, she made concessions, because that mofo could not dance.
I mean, that would be a deal breaker for me, right?
It should have been a deal breaker for her. I know she knows that. That's why she was going after Curtis.
Right. I don't find Curtis. He was pretty shitty on his season as well.
Really?
He was in like a full on like day one relationship with this woman Amy, and like they were just like they were the it couple, and they
were mom and dad of the freaking villa.
Everybody loved them together. She was so interested in him, and then he dropped her and went for Maura.
Yeah, no, but in between that, he went to Casa Amor and started flirting with another girl, black girl, and then she went to another guy, and he was like kind of hinting that he was going to try when she got into the main villa, and then Amy found out, and she was like, "I was going to tell you I loved you," and then they like broke up, and she thought they were going to get back together, but instead he started building a relationship with Maura.
And
Maura Higgins.
Yeah.
That's why she was like, I see you kick Curtis out.
Yeah. I thought that maybe there was something with them because of the way she said it.
They dated after the show
dated after the show. And then supposedly she cheated on him or something.
I mean,
with her dance partner.
Personally.
Or something. Like, anyway. Fake. Yeah, so he was if you watch the scene where Amy decides to self-evict.
Yeah, she self-evicted.
You think Chantel's tears tonight.
It was bad.
It was bad.
That's season 5, so get on it.
Yeah.
It's a good season.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of drama that happens that season.
That season was a roller coaster. Yeah. If you want entertainment, that definitely season. I like season 6 personally, the one Chantel doesn't like, only because there was a lot more romantic couples that came out of that season. That there are still couples from that season that are still together. So
okay.
But yeah, like he was everybody's like,
oh yeah,
like on everybody's shit list for sure.
Yeah.
Dan here is saying the duels have been making me hyped, jumping up and down, throwing stuff, screaming. Never felt this hype for a reality show in a long time. The challenge needs to take notes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're doing something right.
Yeah,
like, the challenge has all these hot people. Like, make me hype about it. Jesus.
Yeah. They try to do that with US, and they're like, oh, they might have something. And they just don't have time because they're doing the daily, then they're doing the challenge. And, like, literally, I will watch the daily, and then they start trying to throw the drama in there, and I'm like, bye, guys.
Really?
Yeah, I don't watch the rest of it.
Oh, you gotta see the drama.
Good stuff that's been going on. Decent stuff.
Johnny.
Anyways.
Oh, speaking of that, if they have like Johnny, they are really a villain, right? Johnny Bananas. Johnny
Wasn't he on Heroes and Villains?
Fair Play from Survivor. Johnnies. The Johnnies are the villains.
Johnnies are the villains. Yep. You're the villain. Well, thank you both for coming on here to talk about this episode. Do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about or promote before we say goodnight?
So I am covering Love Island games on my channel. So if I was here tonight, I usually stream right after the show ends, about 10:15, 10:30. But I will be back tomorrow afternoon to cover this episode and 7 because I missed 2 because I was watching Big Brother last night. And speaking of Big Brother, Janelle and I will be wrapping up this finale week of Big Brother sometime this weekend as well. So watch out for that. I'm so glad to put a nail in the coffin of BB25.
I know, but it might be resurrected like the zombie twist.
Oh Lord.
No.
And
on the reindeer game.
And on Tuesday or Wednesday, we will be back for our Traders Canada recap.
Speaking of that, though, hold on. Let me just say, I agree with you, Dan. This is definitely my favorite reality show so far. That's on right now, 100%. So if it keeps going, like it'll be like I'll be excited about it. And then I was going to ask you. So with the Traders Canada, do we know why Dom got like what?
He came into my pod.
Okay.
And I said, was it that you were smoking in your room? He said no. And we said, did you have your phone? He said no. And that's where we left it on our guessing game.
I'm not
because those are the two big ones. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Been inappropriate with like crew.
It had to be something like either worse or just like out of the box.
What kind of things were they breaking with their contract? Maybe he told somebody. Maybe he posted something. I don't know. It's wild though. No, tomorrow I believe is like bit on the bit on the side.
No, I just went on see this is already posted.
So that's tomorrow's though, right?
Yeah. So there's nothing tomorrow because if you want to, you can watch on Steam Bids right now. But yeah, so there's nothing on Saturdays really. And then they're back on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's already posted.
Yeah, it's already posted.
Sorry. So continue, Tamika, with what you have going on. I interrupted you at Traders Canada.
Oh, so so we'll be back next week for the next episode to recap Traders Canada this season. Guys, so good. It is so
I have
good.
To get caught up. Don't tell me. I have to get
so good. And then Twin Love starts on what is it? I think the 17th in a week. It starts in a week. And I'm going to try to cover that. Since Big Brother is going to be gone. Apparently Love Island is going to be done soon too. It's only like 10 more days left of that. So
really?
So it's supposed to be 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. Even though they filmed for 6 weeks, apparently it's only like a 3-week show. So and then I'll be covering that, and we're covering Bachelor Nation on Sunday. So
I haven't watched Bachelor in Paradise. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I have a flight that I don't have to work on. So
yeah,
I will be watching Bachelor in Paradise, taking my notes. Miss Tjoy, do you have anything going on you want to share? Miss Tjoy, anything?
Oh no. I'm just covering the Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise with you all. I did watch the Women Tell All. I have to watch Bachelor in Paradise and just getting caught up on the other shows.
Hopefully we can make that one a little bit interesting on Sunday.
Hopefully.
It was long and it was boring.
I haven't watched either of them.
Oh,
so
sorry.
I haven't.
Didn't mean to spoil it for you, but it's boring. I haven't started Survivor UK, but that's on the list. It's on the list. Thanks, Jaquan. Be great.
Bye,
Thank you,
Jaquan.
everybody.
Thank
you guys know the drill.
Thank you.
But please subscribe to the channel, like this video. Let us know, who do you think is going to be good in the heart rate challenge? Who are you wanting to see dance, twerking, or whatever? I'm excited to hear your thoughts and are they gonna be wearing costumes? Like, what kind of looks do you
Oh,
think
I
we're gonna
hope
see?
so. I hope so.
What kind of looks? So let us know in the comments, and then we'll be back sometime next week to cover the next couple of episodes. Other than that, see you soon, everybody. Bye.
Bye.